Greetings, Inquisitor. I'm glad you picked this holocron. Today we're going to play a little bit of the Conquest. We're going to talk about Conquest discs, especially early on in Conquest, getting started. Do a little bit of gameplay. Try to see if I can help answer some of the questions that I've been getting over on my channel as to how I play Conquest and what I believe works well. So let's start with the low-level account, my alt account on Darth Loquitur. If we go into Conquest and we look at this Zone 1, what I like to do very early on in Conquest, I just like to smash through as much of this content as I can. If I don't get 3 stars, I don't worry too much about going back and getting it. What I'm trying to do is get as far along as I can and collect as many discs as I possibly can get. And the first 2 zones are relatively easy. So what I'm trying to do is within the first few days, I want to try to clear out the first 2 zones. You can go back later and try to finish out the feats that perhaps you didn't finish out. We may not get to 100 enemies here. If you get some of these other quests done in the meantime, that's nice. You can do that. So you can pay attention to these or not too much, depending on what kind of teams you have. In normal, we have this defense up feat. Now, it's important to note that the defense feat does not require you to actually win the battle. You just have to gain defense up 20 times. Even if you lose, as long as you gain defense up, it still works. I did that on this battle right here. I did it very simply with these 2 characters, Clone Wars Chewbacca and Enfys Nest. Clone Wars Chewie, level 60. He gets the 6th level of his leadership, that allies have a 50% chance to gain defense up for 2 turns whenever they're damaged. So if you put in a character like Enfys Nest, she gets damaged a lot and wins the battle through counterattacks. They'll kill off Clone Wars Chewbacca very quickly. Enfys Nest will get plenty of defense up opportunities throughout the course of the battle. So I closed out that feat in 1 run. Now, if you don't have Enfys Nest, this works with any good characters that you have that can take a few hits. So if you have some relic characters in your account, you could build an Empire team behind this. You could put just about anything you wanted into here. Just make sure that they're characters that can take some hits. So maybe we put in just some other relic level characters and fill it up. And as long as the battle takes long enough that these characters get the defense ups before they die, that's all you care about. If the opposing team does an area effect attack, that's 5 opportunities. Or once Clone Wars Chewbacca dies off, it's 4 opportunities for you to get defense up. So with that character, most people should have him. They give him to you for the early game. So Clone Wars Chewbacca, just high enough level to get that leadership to the 50%. He has to be level 60 in order to get that skill up high enough. So that's a very easy way to complete that feat on your way through. We come to the next node. We have Grievous here. We're just going to try to use our teams, run them down, smash through here, and try to grab as many discs as we can. Now, what discs are we looking for? So to be clear, the first disc that you need to look for is a damage escalation disc. So anytime that you can get one of these 4 damage escalators, especially in the first couple zones, you want to grab them no matter what. The first, and I consider it to be by far the best right now, is Weak Point, that gives your characters offense up for every debuff on the enemy team. That can easily be paired with the disc that gives enemies damage over time. If you get the rare version of it, the blue version of it, it also gives burning. So they get 3 debuffs at the start of their turn. Then when you take an attack, the enemies already have these debuffs on them. So weak point is the number 1 disc you're looking for. The second best, in my opinion, is the stacking offense that gives your character offense every time they get a buff. You can get things like this evasive action or anything that gives you buffs. There's a heal over time disc. There's a critical chance disc. There's a defensive disc. So there's a bunch of things that will give you extra buffs at the start of your turn. You get those buffs, you get extra offense. It scales very quickly. The third best, I think, is the one that gives offense for an enemy dropping below 100%. That doesn't scale quite as rapidly as the others, but as long as you can take a character below 100%, you get an offense boost. You do it again, you get another offense boost. And against certain teams that can heal themselves up, you might get 4 or 5 instances of that boost before you actually kill the character in Conquest. So that is only a 1-star disc, and it has a very good payoff. The fourth one is Blindside. It inflicts exposes, but it does rely on attacks out of turn. This can make a Geo team very effective, but for some other teams, it's not as good. So prioritize a damage escalation disc anytime you find it, till you get at least one, and you can start building around it. If you find a better one later, like let's say I have Blindside now, if I find a weak point, for sure I'm going to take the weak point, and I'll probably replace Blindside with weak point. Or I'll use them both for a little while until I get other discs. Other things that I look for very early in the game, if I get a good vitality, either green or blue, I really like to take a vitality. This increases the viability of your character, your health stats, and your protection stats by about 40% overall. If you can stack that with the disc that gives you protection up at the start, or a team like Padme that has scaling effects that are based on your max health, then this disc pays off even more. So I like to do this, especially on the normal, because it helps stabilize my characters. In the when I do the hard mode on my main account, it's not so important to get this vitality, but I feel like it's important on my normal account, just because a lot of my characters that I use in these teams aren't even relic. Like my Padme team has the relic Anakin, and everybody else is lower level. So this really puts that Padme team in the running. For my troopers, they have to be able to take a hit later on, because the characters go fast in Conquest at the later stages. So getting them some extra health and protection lets them take a shot or two before they start to get their gimmick going with the turn meter. So I like a vitality disc. This evasion disc is not that great. I got it. I'm using it. It's it can help a little bit, and I just basically have it in here until I can find something better to replace it. So let's go back and look at the choices that I had, and I'll show you. I guess you can't see all the choices. Never mind. So those are the discs I've picked so far. If we look to the next set, we've got a heal over time, we've got a ruthless swiftness, and we've got power. Out of these 3 discs, I prefer this heal over time. Again, we're looking for stuff that's going to give us the ability to stack buffs in case we get one of those offensives, stacking offense discs later on. The ruthless swiftness can be pretty good. However, there are upsides to this, but honestly, if you have control of the battle and you're doing well already, the 22% turn meter isn't that big of a deal. Some battles you actually don't want to go that fast, especially in battles where you, for example, have to remove turn meter from the opponent as a feat or something like that. So the ruthless swiftness is good, but I'll take the heal over times here with the idea that at some point I'm going to get a stacking offense buff, and this is going to be able to get me more buffs and more offense. Turn meter is nice. Offense is better, in my opinion, in Conquest. Here we've got a Grievous team. low level. We're not too worried about it. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Padme team. And this is where you can see my Padme team is pretty low level. My 5s is only gear 9. My Ahsoka's 11. Padme's 11. We got 12 on Kenobi. So against this team, it's only gear 12 opponent for Conquest. It still has a bunch of the extra bonuses that you get, the enemy gets for Conquest. So these teams aren't really a pushover. So we're going to have to work for it a little bit. Now with attacks out of turn, because we've got that data disk that gives us health and protection, our health is stacked quite high in this Padme team. So as soon as they take an attack out of turn, it's really a lot of health that we get back, or a lot of protection up that we get from our health. All right, let's send Anakin over to deal with Wat Tambor. All right, this is going nicely. And he's marked, so we're stuck. We need Ahsoka to take a turn. Get the buffs off of him. All right, we'll do the healing and protection up on Padme just to get the extra stacks of courage. And finish it out. Okay. So that's good. We're just going to keep marching through like that. What was the other feat? Oh, just killing enemies. Okay, so we'll be working on that feat as we go along. Let's see. We got Night Sisters and we got a Padme team. The Night Sisters are probably easier. Let's see what's in here. If there's a frenzy tech, we might take that over a data disk later on, but early on we're just looking for data disks. Got to establish our pool. All right, here we're going to go up against Night Sisters. I feel like my troopers are good. Again, you want to trade off your teams. You don't want to run the stamina down all on one team if you can help it. So if you've got at least 2 or 3 good teams, you can get through here trading off your teams. We'll put this on Stark so that we don't have to deal with any attacks incoming. Go ahead and carve the armor on the zombie. Get a big hit on everybody. And now we can start working on the turn meter train for these troopers. Once they get a kill, they get tons of turn meter, so we can just get all kinds of kills. That finishes off the Night Sisters. And again, these battles aren't that hard for some, let's say your account's like mine at 1.7 million galactic power, 1.8 million. You can get through these pretty well. It's not too big of a deal. We'll put the heal over times on already. May have to take it off later. May have to pay some energy to do that, but I don't mind too much. We got Geos, and we're in good shape with the Geos. The Geos benefit from everything we've got. We've got Blindside, which helps the Geos. We've got the extra health and protection, which gives the Geos an even bigger bank of health and protection. And remember, they get bonus health and protection from the Geo Brute Alpha anyway. So these guys are really tanky now just with that one buff. And we've got the Blindside that really is going to stack up tons of exposes on these guys. Long as we can survive the initial barrage of hits here, we'll be good. All right, they're going crazy over there. Oh, one Geo down. Another Geo down. Looks like we're not going to be able to fight this fight with the Geos. Okay, lesson learned. We only got one turn. They're too fast already. Not even through the first zone, and they're too fast for us. We will do an energy refresh again. We're going to try to push through here as fast as we can. I think our Vader team has plenty of energy. So we do want a full team so that we can progress the quest to have a full team of dark side characters. So we're going to go ahead and do that. In we go. We'll see if Vader can get it done or the Geos couldn't. Alright, so this is just typical stuff with Vader. Do your merciless massacre, and then we're going to try to see how many of these guys we can get out of here. Now they do have the ability that gives them resurrection, so even though we're killing a bunch of them, we're going to have to kill them multiple times. But it looks like we have this well under control. We'll just go ahead and give it back to Vader. Keep taking turns. We'll try to zap him. Get a stun on him, that's good. Dooku can finish him off. Alright, so progress towards the quest, 3 stars, team down, onto the final boss. Now I have to admit, honestly, I don't remember exactly how I beat Qui-Gon last time. So we'll have to kind of look at it and figure it out. Ability exhaust, opportunistic support, and then this is just offense and critical damage. Opportunistic support is interesting. Later on, when things start to hit really hard, this can be good. It's only for attacks out of turn, though. Power, you can just get more offense and critical damage, which helps. I think I'll probably take the opportunistic support. Again, we're going to be looking for the big damage drivers. We're going to be looking for a stacking offense or a weak point somewhere in here. So this single dot disc is probably a better fit for what we're looking to try to do. All right, and then here we've got no tanks, undersized squad, and recovering a lot of health. Okay, we can probably do that. Let's see, the recovering a lot of health part is interesting. I wonder what we're going to do for that. Probably Padme, and it's probably better if the Padme team gets run down a little bit on stamina so that we can heal more. So let's go ahead and run Padme down here. Wear off some stamina. And then we'll take her in at 65% in the last battle. And see if that allows us to get more healing. Alright, Vader. Do your thing. Alright. Yikes. Okay. Can't get a turn in here. Alright, let's do the big hit here. And Padme is ability blocked, unfortunately. Otherwise, she would want to clear all these debuffs and give us courage and all that stuff. There we go. We can get it now. So we're back in the game. This is a little bit what we want to do in the last battle against the end boss. Want to stall it out a little bit and see if we can take some damage and heal up. So we'll have to slow play it, see if we can get that feat done. And again, if we get it done, we get it done. If we don't, we'll come back later once we got better discs and deal with it that way. Alright. Just finish this one off. Run Padme down to 65%. Take that final battle. Alright, and we have to heal 300,000 with no tanks and an undersized squad. Okay. Let's try all of that at once. Let's see if we can do all of that at once. No tanks, undersized squad, and see if we can get some healing done. Don't know. We're just going to throw it in there and try and see what we can get done. If this doesn't work and we can't win and get some feats, then we'll just, you know, bring a team in here, beat it, and move on, get our disc, open up the next section. All right. We got to let them do some damage, so we'll just kind of slow play it, let them hit us. Come on over, guys. You got to do some damage to us so we can do some healing. All right, Padme Team's too good. Not taking any damage. All right, Yoda's almost into his health. Come on, buddy. All right, we're going to have to hit another character here for a minute. This is, they're not getting much damage on us here. Come on, guys. There we go. Finally got some damage on us. All right, all right, all right. That's enough of that. Oh. And then we just lost her. Okay. Just see. Okay. Took some damage again. Now we got to get some healing going on. Let's just try to protect Yoda here. All right, let's do this. We're not getting much healing. All right, let's finish it out though, so that we can go ahead and get the underdog and no tanks in the squad feats done. And we'll come back later and get more stars and try to finish it out for the part about the healing if we don't get it here. These guys have quite a bit of health, so, you know, who knows, maybe I got it. I do wish there was a counter here that you could see what your progress is. All right, so we got undersized squad and no tanks. That's fine. We'll come back later and deal with it. Opportunistic support or power. I feel like that's just better. The ability to exhaust, gain 10 debuffs. It seems to me like it's a lot of debuffs, and the fact that it takes 2 dots, you know, I might invest in that if it didn't take 2 dots, but certainly don't want to invest 2 dots in a disc that does a pretty mediocre job. All right, so if we take a look in Sector 2, we can look at the different teams that we've got to fight. We've got Mon Mothma, we've got a Separatist team, we've got Padme over here, who we'd probably really rather not fight. We have a Phoenix team up here with no Sabine Wren, which is important. All right, we got Entrenched, which I like, Ruthless Swiftness, Defensive Formation. Down here, we have Ruthless Offense. So I do like this Ruthless Offense, but I do also like the Phoenix. Do we have any feats that we need to do? Grant 50 buffs, 5 attackers. Okay. So for some feats that you need to do, let's say, for instance, there's one later on where I have to apply death marks, and my death trooper is very weak, and you need to be able to protect him. So what you can do against a team like this, they don't have any area effect attacks. So if you bring in a good tank, Wat Tambor, put tank tech on your tank, and just protect your death trooper, they can't get to him. If they have Sabine Wren in the group, she has an area effect, and it becomes more difficult to hide a single weak character. But in this case, this zone doesn't have any of those kinds of feats for us to do. So we're probably going to go, let's see, we could either go Separatists into Padme into this, or we could go Mon Mothma into Bad Batch. Those are both choices I don't like. The Padme team has C-3PO. We're probably better off taking the Bad Batch. So let's go ahead and fight this Mon Mothma team. And what can we use here? Let's see. Are the troopers fast enough to go first against this team? I wonder. We can't counterattack them, so a lot of the counterattack strategies don't work. So I think it's either Vader, or we try it with the troopers. Troopers are at 86%. We'll see if they can go first. If they can't go first, we might just lose Gideon and lose the battle right away. But we'll see. All right, we do get to go first, just barely. Put this on Stark. We do have to deal with some counterattacks. All right, buffs up. And then let's go ahead and get rid of the armor, some armor on Baze Malbus. Take some assists here, and then do the mass assist, and that should kill him. Get our turn meter train running. Let's do the area effect, do some damage to everybody. Let's drain turn meter on Pow and kill him. Alright, more area effect stuff. And then let's see if we can finish another guy off here to get turn meter. No problem. Big hit over there, that should finish it. All right, good. 3 stars. Mon Mothma down. Now for Bad Batch, we gotta figure that out. Another very good disc to get that I found. There is a disc that says that your team becomes immune to daze, stun, and some other things for the first 2 rounds. I have found that disc to be very effective. Getting, against things like Bad Batch, you don't get dazed right away. So it helps a lot against certain comps. I wonder, the Geos get dazed too, though. See, if I had that, I could bring the Geos in here. I feel like we've got the Geos sitting on a bunch of energy and we just can't use them. It's frustrating. But alright, let's go ahead and get in there. Let's see. We probably should have paid more attention to the... I think we need 5 attackers for this. So we could potentially kick out Thrawn and look at getting fired, and get in and look at getting 5 attackers in here. Could do. All right, let's get him out of here if we can. Not enough. All right. Let's go ahead and fracture over here. See if we can get some stuns down on these guys. Come over here with the lightning. Get tech out of here. More debuffs. See, if we had weak point right now, we would be in really good shape. Weak point would be giving us sickening amounts of offense every time we attack. Take what we can get, though. All right. Pass it back over to Vader again for another merciless massacre here. Come in with our culling blade. That guy's got about 1 billion debuffs on him, so as soon as he takes a turn, he's going to die anyway. Probably kill him before he gets to take a turn, but if he does, he'll kill himself with his debuffs, I think. I'll fracture him again, why not? Get him out of here. Alright, victory. Now we're starting to run low on stamina on our good teams, though, so that's inconvenient. Let's get this offense, ruthless offense going. Get that into the stack. Confirm. All right, some people say, I don't even equip discs until like Sector 3. I don't mind equipping the discs. Costs a little bit of energy to change them out. But you can get a collection of discs up and running and then go swap them out later. All right. Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan is surprisingly difficult in these conquests. So I try to avoid her. This Night Sister team is another one with no area effect, as long as Mother Talzin isn't on there. Asajj does have an area effect, but it's not too bad. Alright, and then we've got the Sabine Wren version of the Phoenix. So I feel like we could just start here. Let me think. Fracture could be inconvenient for Nest. We need to find battles that we can throw Enfys Nest in, because our other teams are starting to run low on stamina. Maybe we could try the Geos here. Let's take a look at this. Can we run Geos against this team? Lots of area effect with Vader and Palpatine. Well, as long as we can hold out against Vader's initial merciless massacre, we should be fine. So let's try to get these Geos in on the action. Maybe it will work and maybe it will not. Sometimes you just gotta experiment, see what you got. All right, here goes Vader. He just did a single target attack first? That's weird. All right, let's get Piet out of stealth. All right, Tarkin is primed for getting nuked. Okay. Let's do we want to clear buffs? Clear debuffs? Let's go after Vader. Let's top ourselves off. Get some ability blocks going around here. Once we get 4 exposes on Vader like that each time, he's going to go down fast. So with the Geos, with that blind side, you see we get all of these exposes every time we go through a turn. So that means that the next time we hit them, they trigger all those exposes. Alright, got a couple of us stunned now. I think we should be okay. Alright, one more unfrozen. He's frozen for 2 turns, though. Alright, and then you see that offense, ruthless offense kicking in, where as those guys dropped, we got more and more offense. Geo Spy hitting for 400,000 there at the end. So, once they get ramped up, it's pretty good. Let's see. Troopers I can't nest because Rex will kill her. This is very inconvenient. Usually I can come through here with Nest and do a bunch of battles, and it's kind of like a cheap way to get progress. Alright, we want the top one because it's got this frenzy tech. If there's a frenzy feat later on, I can't remember if there is in normal, but we'll be able to get it. This is not a bad route. Don't really need to worry about the Empire. Alright, so let's take the Night Sisters into the Phoenix. We're running out of energy, so for right now, this will probably be our last battle. I don't know. Let's just try the Geos again, because no area effect damage, no plague to worry about. Just the Asajj area effect that doesn't worry me too much. Alright. Got a stun on the spy. Kind of inconvenient. Not enough buffs to remove yet, so we'll just go in like that. And then see if we can get Asajj out of here. And then we'll call in spy, get Asajj out of here a second time. Let's get over on Daka actually. Let's knock Daka down. I'm gonna put the buffs up just in case I need them. We'll kill the zombie. Let's get back in there and work on Daka. She's got a lot of exposes. Alright, so now we're gonna kill a character that'll trigger the last resurrect from the Night Sisters. And then we can get in there and kill Daka. That is a lot of stuns. Alright. Let's get in there. Guess we gotta get that zombie out of here again. Alright, let's work on Daka. See if we can avoid a stun ever. Okay, come on, Daka. Get on out of here. Okay, gotta kill the zombie again. Or at least take the buffs off of her. Alright, heal up. Get this Asajj out of here. We want to save that ability on the spy because that can pull that other character out of stealth, and that's how we're going to end up killing her. We're going to wait for the turn meter to be right. Pull her out of stealth, finish her off. Alright, we can kill the zombie a couple times, get her speed knocked down. I think I'm good here, so let's pull her out of stealth. And now we can get back there. Take her out. We'll hit her hard. 1,000,000 damage on that spy. Okay, so that's about as far as I can push right now. So I'll leave it there. I'm not going to refresh the energy. And what we'll do, we'll wait until tomorrow morning when the characters have regained some of their stamina. And then we'll try to do a battle each again with Padme, with Vader, with Geos, with Nest, whatever we can do. and wear through our stamina. But by the end of day 2, we want to be through this second zone. So I will pay for refreshes, and then from there on out, I'm going to try to see if I can coast through the rest of this with no refreshes, or maybe 1 refresh a day. So that's how I'm starting Conquest on my alt account. So we're going to cut it off there for today. I don't know if this helps anybody very much, but I figured since I was playing Conquest, I'd try to make a quick video for y'all. Please leave it in the comments down below if you want to see more of the Conquest battles, more discussion about Conquest. Let me know, and if people want it, I'll make some more of these videos. If it doesn't do well and you guys aren't that interested in it, then you just let me know that as well. We'll see what we can do. Thank you all for your time. Remember to hit the like button if you haven't already on your way out. That helps me, helps the channel. Subscribe, join us in Discord, all the usual stuff. See you in the next Holocron.